Hello everyone, welcome to the Talking Book channel. Today we're going to discuss on a book called The Book of Everlasting Things by Anshul Malhotra. The author Anshul Malhotra is a writer and an oral historian. She has penned two other books, The Remnants of a Separation and In the Language of Remembering. Both of these books explore the human history and generational impact of 1947 partition. This book, The Book of Everlasting Things, is her debut novel. This book also talks about the 1947 partition. This book is published by HarperCollins, and the cover, color, everything is perfect. The blurb of this book will give you the insight about the story. Yes, this book is about a love story between Samir Vij, a Hindu boy, and Firdaus Khan, a Muslim girl. Both of them hails from Lahore, and the fate of Lahore decides the fate of this love story. This book is divided into 5 different parts, a total of 451 pages including the acknowledgements. If you ask me personally, till part 3 it was all going good for me, but the part 4 I felt it a bit long, very dragging. I was feeling like the author could have shortened the story a little. But then part 5, well, I thought it would end, and it wasn't. It was going on. The story would go on, and finally, I must tell you that the ending was very, very beautiful. The overall story is so beautifully written. You will never feel boring at any part of this book. The only exception is part 4, where you won't feel it boring but a little bit dragging. The initial part of the book sets up the story like it talks about Samir Vij, the protagonist of the story who is blessed with the power of smelling things. It talks about him, his ancestors, their business, their family, and the business they end up doing at last in Lahore. It also talks about Firdaus Khan, her father, mother, their family, and their business, the calligraphy. The initial part of the book also describes Lahore beautifully, and it shows how the things were, how the people were before partition. The story totally revolves around this man called Samir from his age of 9 till 90 and above. And that's how the book shares the story and the effects of partition over generations. Apart from this love story, which is a fiction, the book also talks about a lot of true things, like the perfumery. So, the family business of Samir would be the perfumery, and throughout the book, it would be said that a perfume is not just a perfume, but a memory of a person, of a place, of anything that holds dear to us. So, a perfume is made out of a memory. So, before reading this book, whenever I put on a perfume, I just put on it and just go out without even thinking about it. But after reading this book, I wonder how this perfume was made, how it was formulated. And I started smelling everything from fruits to flowers, and I started smelling the tuberose especially. The author has researched well on these two things, that is, the perfumery and the calligraphy art, before writing this book or while writing this book, because she has written it very well in detail. Especially the perfumery is explained in a very detailed manner that we could almost get drenched in the art of perfume making. And of course, calligraphy is a new art to me, at least, because I've never come across this thing. So, though I couldn't understand it completely, it was so good to know that there is an art called calligraphy, and papers are made to smell like rose, and people write on it with a style. And that was great knowing about all these things. And not only these, the book also talks about the partition. Yes. It shows how people get affected. It shows how people take those memories and scars throughout their life and through them to their next generations to come. The Muslims who lived in Delhi had to move on to Lahore during the partition, and Hindus who were in Lahore had to shift to Delhi during the partition. They have to leave everything behind them, or else their life won't be spared. So imagine if you woke up one day in your city and you came to know that this is not your city anymore and you have to go out, how will you feel? It is such a devastating condition, right? And that's how Samir undergoes all these things. And not only Samir, a lot of people get affected in partition. Though the Samir's story is a fiction, these kind of things would have happened during that time, right? We could able to feel and understand. Samir and Firdaus Khan love story is just the medium to make us understand all these things. So overall, this book is a great reading if you love stories, and if you are a person who would like to know history but won't read history books, you can of course read this book and know. This book will take you to places like Paris, Lahore, Grasse. That's how the place is pronounced, I guess. I'm not sure. And then it'll take you to where else? That's it. To Delhi, maybe. Yeah. So, well, if you want to go on a journey, then you can definitely pick this book and read. And I'll meet you with another good book. Till then, bye from the talking book.